So last year, I was actually fortunate enough to be able to pull some stuff together to be able to get this phone that you're seeing on the screen right here, the Galaxy Z Fold 3. And I have pretty much had it for 192 days and counting, of course. And overall, my experience with the device is it's good. It's definitely good. There are some things I don't like about it, and there are some things that I do like about it. But I thought I would try my hand at giving a days later video. So that's what I'm going to do here today. So before we go ahead into this video, I want to give a huge shout out to my wife for actually getting me a mic that works way better than the one that I had previously. And if it doesn't sound like it, it's probably because I don't know how to use this as of yet, but I will get better. That's the whole point of, having this channel, to learn from challenge and change. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into my Galaxy Z Fold 3 192 days and counting later. So the first thing I have to say about this device is that it's heavy. I don't want to make it seem like it's the heaviest thing on the block, and there have definitely been heavier phones, but essentially what you are getting here is two devices in one. I mean, you have that cover display right there. You have your other display on the inside, and there are a lot of parts that kind of make this thing just a weighty device. It's something that you're going to remember is always in your pocket. You'll never ask the question of if you have your phone, because if you don't have it, you're gonna know you don't. For work, I actually wear cargo pants pretty much most of the time with pockets on the side, and the pockets are probably a little tighter than they should be, but I have trouble fitting this into the left side pocket where I'd like to keep it. It's something that you will just not forget that is there. You'll know that you have this device, especially if you're adding accessories onto it. So yeah, the weight of the device, it's definitely something that you will notice for sure. The next thing about this device is that productivity really just kind of takes it to the next level on this phone. And the reason I say that is, for instance, the example that I'm going to be using here, which is Excel, and I know I've used that before in one of my comparison videos, but it's kind of the best thing I can think of right now. For instance, I can see the A, B, and the C column right here, but if I open this up, essentially you will see the A, B, C, D, E, F, and G columns. And this is just something that I truly really appreciate. I think when you have a mobile device, a phone at that, it's just one of those things where you want things to be convenient. You want to be able to do what you would normally do on a bigger device on a smaller device, and the Fold does that really well, in my opinion. I can even do something as crazy as I don't know, let's open up this. So if I want to go ahead and just write a Samsung note while watching a video of Halo Infinite and browsing the web while still writing on this phone, that's something I can do. And yeah, just to show you, you can actually kind of just like do all of this stuff. Like it's there. I mean, it's something that you probably won't use frequently, but just the fact that you can do it is definitely pretty amazing. So yes, productivity is amazing on this device, I have to say. So the next thing that is a joy for me is entertainment on this device. Whether I am watching a video like this one you're seeing on screen, or even, reading a comic book or something like that, just being able to have the option to go between either this cover screen, which is that 6.2 inch display, versus hold on, let's open this up, the 7.6 inch display here. It's just all around a really convenient experience. I actually find myself using my phone a little bit more than I do my tablet sometimes, just to watch videos, because you have that 7.6 inch screen right there. Why not be able to use it? So yeah, productivity, a plus, definitely. Wait, sorry, I said productivity. Entertainment and productivity. Let's play this off like I didn't mess up just now. Entertainment, yes, a plus, definitely on this phone. And if you're wondering, yes, you can even go ahead and zoom in to fill the screen. Of course, you're gonna get some content cut off, but just looking at this thing head on just looks really great. Now, the S Pen experience on this device is something that really actually drew me in, aside from one other fact, which I'll get to. So I have mixed feelings about it. You know, the fact of the matter is that when Samsung set out to kind of make the Fold devices, you know, be the successors to the Note, I think they had the right idea in mind by adding the S Pen to the Z Fold 3. However, I think the execution could have been done just a little bit better. And I don't know what it takes to put a digitizer in, you know, two screens on one device, but what infuriates me is the fact that the S Pen is supposed to be something that's convenient. You know, you're supposed to be able to pull it out and just start writing. You can't do that on the cover screen because the cover screen does not support the S Pen. But that being said, and let me just be fair, you know, when you go ahead and open up the device and you start writing on it, pretty much just the fact that you have this big canvas here, that makes all the difference. You know, I used to take notes on any of the Note devices or any S Pen devices I had, and one of the things that I always encountered was, okay, in the moment that I actually need to do this, I can't do it because I have this narrow field of view pretty much, and I can't really get what I need to get done. So with the Z Fold, you know, being able to open this device and just go ahead and write notes on it and do whatever, it is extremely convenient. It's definitely handy to have, but I am definitely hoping that Samsung makes the improvement and adds S Pen functionality to both of the displays. So one other thing I actually thought about with the S Pen experience, when I had my Note 9, I think it was the first one that did this, my Note 10, my Note 20 Ultra, pretty much any of those devices, you know, one of the things that I'll be honest, didn't use that much, but was grateful to have, was the ability to use the S Pen as a remote. And that's just something that you don't get out of the box, nor do you even get it with the Fold Edition S Pen, which, by the way, if I didn't mention, is about $50 by itself or $80 with the case, and that's the next part I'm going to go over, but let me finish making my point here. You don't get that Bluetooth S Pen connectivity here. In order to do that, you have to go ahead and dish out about an extra $100 on this, the S Pen Pro. Essentially, you don't have that functionality. And what I used that for mainly was just using it as a camera shutter button of sorts. You know, I'd be able to put the note down, hold the pen in my hand, and basically take that picture without ever having to move or refocus myself when taking a picture or something. I also use it for media control, like when I was across the room or something like that. Like if I didn't have my Galaxy Watch on or something, I'd just have the S Pen and then just go ahead and, you know, press pause while my phone was hooked up to a speaker. So yeah, that's another thing that I miss. So the next topic I want to talk about is this thing right here. So this is the Galaxy Z Fold Edition S Pen flip cover case. I think that's what it's called. And this thing is kind of a mixed bag for me. First of all, it's kind of one of the only ways you can actually purchase an S Pen to be able to be used with the Z Fold. Or, I mean, you can go ahead and purchase that separately. Like I said before, you know, it's $50 to purchase it separately or $80 for this case. However, this case is not worth $80. It just really isn't. Like the inflation and markup on these things is ridiculous. And the reason I say that is because, for one, the case has held up, yes, in most places, but look at this. Like, do you understand how frustrating it is to basically, at 3 a.m. in the morning, wake up, be human, and forget to put your phone on extra dim brightness and have this just like glaring up to the ceiling? Like, it's kind of annoying. And what's happening here is essentially this S Pen slot right here is so heavy that it's dragging the cover down. Like, I don't even remember when I first got it if it was able to stay on, but it's supposed to be a magnet. So I guess the magnets have kind of demagnetized. The other thing about this case is that it actually started ripping like right around here. I don't know if you can see that or if I can show that on camera, but it's just overall not really a durable case. I mean, you can go ahead and take off the S Pen and just kind of have it there, but you know, then that kind of defeats the purpose of even getting a case with a feature that's supposed to still be convenient. Now, one way I actually did find a use for this defect in this case is to be able to use this at like 3 a.m. in the morning when I get up. And pretty much what that looks like is, you know, like I showed you a little flap coming off over here. You can just go ahead and keep doing that over and over and see, I can find my earbuds now. So yeah, unofficial, official uses for me. So one of the things that I was kind of even more worried about with this phone was what was the battery life going to be like. And I can definitely say it's not actually not as bad as I thought it would be. You know, I pretty much get up at like 5 a.m. in the morning, and I do charge my phone between 7:30, well, 5:30 and 5 a.m. and 7:30 a.m., which is the time I leave to go to work. And I pretty much have it off of the charger for the whole day. And I get home, give or take, maybe about like 5 or so. And the phone actually lasts until about 11 at night, which is pretty cool. You know, I thought this was going to be one of those things where, hey, it has way more hardware, you know, 2 displays, well, actually 3 displays that it's powering. So I was like, the battery life has to be abysmal. But yeah, Samsung did a good job in optimizing the Fold, and I have to say I'm pretty impressed. I'll have some of my battery results just off of some rough testing I did for a few days, but overall, when I am at work, I'm actually using my phone, you know, most of the time for music, watching videos, and sure, I could do this from a tablet or something else, but you can obviously take the phone with you. And if I'm walking around, I would obviously want the more portable device. So yeah, battery life on the Fold 3, pretty darn good. I am fairly surprised. So the camera experience on this phone is also not as bad as I thought it would be. And let me reiterate, it is not as versatile as something like the Galaxy S21 Ultra or the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. However, still not a bad camera, honestly. At least the rear cameras are not bad in this sense. And, you know, I'll have some of my samples up on screen here so that you can see. But overall, I think the phone does pretty well with, you know, just a myriad of situations. Like, I've used this camera at night, I've used it in the morning, I've used it in the evening, just used it in a lot of different lighting situations. And honestly, I am not a photographer, but I'm happy with the results. The only thing I miss is really just the versatility of being able to zoom in that much. However, was I in a lot of situations where I needed to do that, even when I had my S21 Ultra and my Note 20 Ultra? Not really. Will I be now that, you know, places are opening back up and my wife and I are probably going to start traveling more? Yeah, I definitely will be. But I mean, I think at that point, you know, I may even have a separate camera, or maybe I'll find a way to just make this work for me. But yeah, the camera on this phone, not really that bad. Now, what I will say about the other cameras, and when I'm talking about the other cameras, I mean, I'm not even going to go ahead and talk about the front camera, because that camera is also pretty good too. But this under display camera here, this thing, I don't use this. Like, it's pretty unusable for me unless you have like adequate amount of light. And it doesn't look that bad here right now, but if you can even see this, you're probably going to be able to see it. And it just thought I meant take a picture it 2 times. You know, there's a lot of noise on here. There's a ton of noise on here. And I mean, that's to be expected. Samsung kind of wanted this to be more aesthetically pleasing than they did functional, I think. But yeah, the under display camera, unless they improve it, I don't think there's a reason it needs to be on the next device. So yeah, that's my little spiel about the cameras. So the next thing, and this is probably something you all have already noticed, like as you've seen in my videos, I do my best to clean my phones up. However, it doesn't always work. And I think wearing blue gloves is going to be a little bit jarring. But this phone takes up a lot of dust, a lot of fingerprints. And that is just an aspect of the glass and other types of materials. But, it's just one of those things. It's a little abnormal because I don't think I've ever owned a phone that took in at least a lot of dust particles. I mean, I think my Note and my 21 Ultra definitely did, but not as much as this. Like, you put this thing in a pocket and it's just gonna like soak up all the dust you have in there. As a matter of fact, right now, this little glass screen protector I have on here, what happens is there's a lot of dust and stuff that gets underneath. And of course, there's also a lot of fingerprints that come on the phone. And I apologize. I don't mean to offend anybody if you're squeamish about this kind of stuff, but yeah, I'm in this to be real. And I'm just going to tell you, yeah, this phone takes up a lot of dust and fingerprints. It really does. From a durability standpoint, I really did not have much hope for this device, but I gotta say, I am completely surprised with the build quality here. First of all, let's talk about this hinge. Like, this hinge has not lost any of its friction since day one. And that was something that I kind of thought about when I was getting the device. I thought, hey, at some point my phone is just going to like hang and maybe I could just like swing it around like a nunchuck or something like that. But yeah, this hinge is still just as strong as it was day one. So kudos to Samsung on that. And also this little crease in here, I know that with the previous Galaxy Fold devices, a lot of people had this break depending on how you used it, but it seems like Samsung really took everything into account with this device. And these little rubber feet that are up here, which I don't know if you're going to be able to see, they definitely do wonders for the device. And I don't really drop my phones. I've probably dropped a phone before this one probably twice in my life, but I have dropped this one for some reason because it's so darn heavy. I've dropped it about maybe 3 times, 2 times on a hardwood floor or a hard surface, and 1 time on a soft surface. And overall, it stands up. I don't think I really have any dings or scratches, although I really haven't looked for them. Let me see. Yeah, there's not really anything. I mean, there's like 2 little chips right here, but it's so negligible that it's not even really worth like looking into. So yeah, durability of the Fold is definitely a plus. Also, that water resistance factor, that was something that this is the other point I wanted to make. If there was no water resistance on this phone, I would not have bought it. The main reasons I purchased the Z Fold 3 is because of the S Pen, the water resistance, and the increased durability. And of course, I guess there's a fourth, the ability to be a little bit more productive when I'm outside. So yeah, overall durability, no problems here. Getting into the last 2 points I want to talk about with this device, audio quality. So speaker wise, I think the speakers are decent, but I think Samsung could have taken a different approach to them. And I know why they probably did this. The fact of the matter is that the speakers are like over here. You have one on the left, and then you have one on well, they're both on the left anyway. But overall, I think that I kind of wish they would have put the speakers in a different place. I have extremely sensitive hearing, and I mean, obviously the phone wasn't built just for me, but I can kind of hear this sort of panning to the left side whenever I'm listening to audio, unless I have the phone like this. And then I still got to remember, hey, the speakers are up here. If I block these, not great audio quality. So in the speaker department, I would like to see them at least put these things in a different place or make them more optimized. And overall, the speaker quality it's okay. It's not Galaxy Note 20 Ultra or S21 Ultra quality, but it's pretty up there. You can get the job done. And to kind of demo that, I have a track that I am currently producing, which is still in beta form but I'm going to hopefully be able to show you what I mean in terms of the quality of this speaker. Like when it gets to the highest part of the song, or well, when I put this on the highest volume, that's kind of when this tinniness comes out. So let me go ahead and play this real quick. All right, so as you can hear, we're not even reaching red yet. We're at 125, and it sounds okay. But let's turn that up, and you'll hear this tinniness now. All right, so, and I don't know if this is going to come out clearly, but there's just this like tinniness, like I said, to it. Like it doesn't sound bad. And I mean, if you're not really listening, or if you don't have really sensitive ears like I do, then you probably won't hear it. But I know that I have heard better. But like I said, this is, I don't want to frame this as good or bad. It's just really still something to be aware of, like everything else I'm talking about anyway. Alrighty, so hopefully these things that I went over will give you more of a solid idea of what to expect when you have a device like the Galaxy Z Fold. Foldables I can definitely see being the future of the candy bar shaped phone. Definitely the evolution of it. And, I think with more refinements down the road, these are definitely going to be what I see most people using, especially when they can get the price down on something like this. I mean, they already did that with the Z Flip, which was pretty cool. So I think Samsung's making some good choices here. By no means is this a perfect phone. I'm not saying that at all. It definitely has its flaws. It definitely has things that need to improve, but I can definitely see that the foldable sector is definitely the step in the right direction. So as always, wherever you are in the world, have a good day or have a good night, and see you in the next video.